I'm ready. So yes, I'm Dan Schubring with the Murphy Insurance Group. Most people this time of year are getting ready to start playing softball or volleyball. My friends and I are getting ready to start skydiving, and it's a great sport. It's a lot of fun. There's something about it that it's really addictive. Jumping out of the plane and being in free fall is a great time. About 400,000 people a year jump out of a plane for the very first time. And part of this presentation I want to explain to people is it's extreme. Yes, you're jumping out of a perfectly good airplane, but it's not as dangerous as it might sound. Skydiving has been around for a long time, since 1797. And I've made my first jump about 7 years ago in 2004. I just wanted to do it just to be able to say that I did it, just to try it out, see what it was like. I jumped out of a plane, went into free fall, landed back on the ground, and I couldn't think about anything else but getting back up there and doing it again. Since then I've talked about many of my friends into doing it, and it's a very actually safe sport. The United States Parachute Association is involved now. It's been around a long time, and there's so many safety regulations involved that beginners just don't get into accidents. If you want to try it out, if you want to jump out of a plane, go into free fall, give it a shot. Go into a tandem jump, you're going to land safely. It's almost a guarantee. Previously, back in the early years, you used to jump with these big round parachutes. Those don't exist anymore. Those used to be very dangerous. You'd drop on the ground and you actually couldn't control them very well. The landings were very hard. People would get seriously injured. Now they actually have rectangular parachutes, which are ram air injected. They have forward drive and they're very easy to control. The top right picture there is a Cypress. It's a computer that you have on you at all times. It measures your altitude, your fall rate, and if you ever drop below 1,000 feet and you don't have a parachute open, that computer opens your parachute automatically. So regardless, even if something happens in free fall, something accidental, you're going to have a parachute by the time you actually get close to the ground. The accidents you hear about are extreme jumpers. I mean, there's many of us that have been doing this for long enough that we tend to push that limit as far as we can. We do some crazy things up in the air. Those are the accidents that happen. When you push the limit too far and you go too far with it, yeah, an accident happens. But on a beginner level, there's so many restrictions that you just don't see accidents. Up at Seven Hills Skydivers, I'm a member up there. We're an active club. We're a nonprofit organization. We have some of the best tandem instructors in the country. Tandem instructors up there have thousands of jumps. If you're going to jump with them, you're going to have a good qualified instructor that's going to get you to the ground safely. Okay, so here we go. Here's a video I just wanted to show. Some people might have seen this before. It's on Facebook, but that's the plane we jump out of. That's a Cessna C-182, very small little airplane. We own 2 of those up at the club. This particular jump, we're going up with a couple of students. One student just got off student status. They just got their license. We're taking them up for the very first time. We actually, the drop zone that we have is a very small runway. It's a grass runway. We go up in these little Cessnas, and we all pack in the very back of the plane. It's very relaxed, actually. Most of us have, we just kind of joke around in the background while we're doing it. This jump you're going to see, what we're trying to accomplish with this new jumper is we're just trying to get out of the airplane. We're getting him to experience free fall with other jumpers in the air. So what we're doing is we're just trying to form a round. We're trying to get 4 jumpers in together into a round altitude. That's the altimeter. That's your lifeline. You always watch your altimeter, see where you're at when you're in free fall. You're watching that constantly. You want to pull your parachute at about 3,500 feet. You don't want to go lower than that. We're all very good friends. We're all family. We know each other really well. I mean, we bank on each other to be able to do this safely. The most fearful part is when the door opens. When that door opens, you're doing 100 miles an hour, the plane's still going, it's windy. That's when your mind really questions what the heck you're doing. And you climb out of the wing. We're going to do 2 jumps here. I take hold of his arm, his sleeve, which was not a good idea. The sleeve actually tears off. You'll see it right here. It tears off. That shoots me across the sky. I get pretty far away from him. So I have to, basically what I'm doing at this point is just trying to catch back up to him. I'm smaller. I'm lighter. I tend to float. I don't have the same free fall weight as everybody else, so I basically at this point tuck into a ball and try to drop down to their altitude and fly back over to them. By the time I get over there, you'll notice that I don't connect with them because I'm reading my altitude and I'm actually too low at that point. We had dropped down. We're approaching 6,000 feet. I pretty much abort the reconnect, and I just fly under it. We all break away and pull our parachutes. Up next, we go back up. We get back on the ground, load back in the plane, go back up, and we do a repeat of the same jump. Basically, we're just trying to do the same jump over and over. Eventually, we get it. Throughout the day, I think we did 3 or 4 jumps of the same nature. The second jump was kind of fun. We don't actually connect, but I take hold of his wrist instead of his shirt this time. So when we do release off the plane, when we exit, we stay connected. I sweep around, hold on to him. Now he's the student, so he just got off student status. This is his second jump with other people in the air. So our job right now is just to stay stable. Basically, we're just trying to stay stable if we're in the center of the round. Everybody else is going to fly in. We almost do it. I mean, basically, we're watching our altitude, and we're staying stable at about 6,000 feet. We're all right next to each other. Scott comes flying in from the left. You'll see him here. He flies in. He connects. And it's a pretty cool feeling. I mean, when you have that many people in free fall for that long of a period of time, it's pretty exciting. April doesn't connect. We actually break off. It's at about 5,000 feet, so we break off, fly away, pull our parachutes. The parachute opening it's a pretty good shock. It's a pretty hard opening, but once you're open, it's really quiet. In free fall, you get a lot of wind noise. You're doing 120 miles an hour towards the earth. Once the parachute opens, it's quiet. You just hear the rustle of the canopy. And they're really easy to control. You pull on the left brake and it turns left really easy. It turns right, however you want to do it. You pull on both brakes and it stops. You're constantly traveling forward at 20 miles an hour. That's our drop zone. The circle there is, that's the target, that's the pea gravel. You get points, when you're doing a point system, you actually get points for landing in the peas and for accuracy. It's a pretty good landing. I get pretty close. Most of the time I do hit the peas, but this one was a little bit off. You have to judge the wind pretty good. But that's not a bad landing. So like I said, it's a safe sport. The regulations, the restrictions on it, the USPA puts very safe regulations in force to make sure that students don't get injured. This is the actual inside of the club, and that's the packing area. Basically, we put our chutes down there, repack them, get back in the plane, do it again, do it as many times as you can throughout the day. But it's a lot of fun. It's an exciting sport. I definitely recommend everybody try it at least once, knowing that it's possible, it's physically possible to do this, not get injured. If you want to get licensed and move on, well, then you can worry about getting injured at that point. But Seven Hills Skydivers are out of Columbus. We're a nonprofit organization. If anybody wants to go, we have some of the best tandem instructors in the area in the United States. Feel free to call up there, talk to Sarah, tell her I sent you, and schedule a tandem skydive.